What's up, YouTube? What's up, family? What's up, newcomers? What's up, everybody? Y'all see the title, Why I Miss Lockdown. Do y'all miss lockdown? It's crazy how it was 5 years ago. I actually don't know what to say.
I've been thinking about how the year 2020 was already 5 years ago. During this time, I was an awkward 15-year-old who was nervous but excited to experience just a
He's 15. You young.
normal time in high school. I knew one thing for certain. I was not going to let anybody ruin this experience for me. Not one single thing.
On Monday in China, it suffered its highest number of deaths in one day. 103 people.
And then the entire planet shut down. That was fun. Okay, now obviously 2020 didn't go as planned. It didn't matter if you were a 15-year-old in the United States or a 45-year-old in Paris. Everybody was affected by this. The only ones who are probably safe are those random remote jungle tribes in the middle of the ocean. Now, for those of you who are too young to experience what happened, or if this video is being played in a museum 100 years from now, either way, allow me to explain what exactly happened and how 2020 lockdown came to be. Now, everything started off normal. Spring break had literally just finished for my high school and nothing seemed too out of the ordinary.
What is going on? I can't pause it.
I mean, during the
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. It was my junior year. It was just spring break. We're like, yay, 2 weeks off. We all got school. Then I was like, okay, I'm tired of being in the house. What else do I do if I lose my mind? And then they said, okay, wait, no, you know what? Everybody pick up y'all laptops on like Friday so then y'all can get ready on Monday. School is done for the rest of the year, which is cool because it was only March. So that means April, May, June, July. So it's 4 months off. Boom, okay. Nothing too crazy. Fast forward, it still kept going. But, I mean, it was good and bad. You know, you got the pros and the cons. I mean, the cons was like, okay, you had to ask the teacher, can you use the bathroom inside your own house? And the camera had to be on 24/7 because guess what? If it wasn't on, you would get a 0.
During the break, there had been talks of a new virus that was originating out of China, but nothing was gonna come out of it, right? Besides, China is across the world, so we had nothing to worry about. Until days passed, and we saw more and more reports of people getting sick with this new mystery virus. It spread from China to Europe to North America within days, and before I knew it, we were getting a 2-week break from school. I'm pretty sure everybody was hyped at the fact that we had to do nothing for 2 weeks. When I heard there
And Eternal Take dropped. Yeah, I remember.
was going to be no school for the next 2 weeks, I immediately hopped my little ass on Fortnite and played it for like the next 4.
This may be the last ad you see. With Pi Adblock, visit your favorite websites and
You
watch
have to
ads
download it.
disappear.
You might have
However,
to. I might have to.
14 hours. When I have my own children, I'm going to describe lockdown as truly one of the hardest times of my life, where I was depleted of social interactions and I was the most alone I'd ever felt in my life. It was just so hard, knowing damn.
Yeah, but the thing was, it was good too. Talking about Charlie D'Amelio, you know, the sisters. And at 21, no wait, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey. Yes, and yes, guys, I know. Oh, it sounds like it hurts when you try to sing. Yes, it does hurt when I try to sing. It does, actually.
Am well that I was doing nothing but watching TikToks, playing Fortnite for 13 hours a day, gooning and eating chips. Now yes, boo-hoo, I couldn't hang out with people. So what? I was an awkward teenager who had absolutely zero social skills. So like, bro, for me, this was the best possible outcome that could have occurred. I remember some days I would wake up at 2 p.m. and immediately start scrolling on TikTok for hours on end, knowing damn well I hadn't showered in the past 3 days. It was bad, bro. I'm telling you, there were some stinky dudes. I'd be waking up so late that the only thing I would eat is dinner. I was definitely walking around my house emanating green aura with flies. It was bad. It was during this 2-week break that eventually all unnecessary activities are to be put on hold, and measures like social distancing and quarantines were put in place. Face masks became mandatory in places all over the world. I'd go to Walmart and everybody would be masked up. There were designated spots where you
Yep, and that just reminded me. Niggas would take all of the tissue rolls every time. But then I realized, it took quarantine for y'all to take a shower. It just took that. It took that to really properly take care of yourself. This is why, guys, everything's a theory. Because guess what? The way we acted or y'all acted, for that, imagine what would happen if all the theories was true. Everybody would go crazy, lose their mind. That's just me. But yeah, I'm talking about, and then they always had this what was it? This printer paper saying one roll per person every time.
could and couldn't stand. Hand sanitizer is in every possible location, and the only thing that was hard to find was toilet paper. People were stocking up on toilet paper like the next day was going to be the apocalypse. Finding toilet paper at the time was like finding a rare Pokemon card just sitting on the ground. You would have better luck winning the lottery than finding 3 rolls of Charmin Ultra Soft. There were a couple days in my household where we had no toilet paper, and I'm telling you, if we ran out of paper towel, bro, I would have started using my old Angry Birds t-shirts from the 2nd grade. Before we knew it, these 2 weeks of no school slowly turned into there are just going to be no classes for the foreseeable future. All future classes will instead be held online within video call platforms like Zoom and Google Classrooms. All right, I'm just gonna get one thing out of the way. I don't think I once at all showed up to any of these classes on time, if I even bothered.
I never understood that because it's like, okay, does it really matter? Do we have to attend it though? Like, do we have to attend it? That's the question. Because like, what? As long as we getting the work done, that's cool. But they forced us to have the camera on. And what's even worse is like when you on the laptop, they got this. When you have the camera on, this is bright light staring at you. So it's like, okay, you can't avoid it, but yeah, everybody was cheating. Real niggas. Oh yeah, yeah. And then they said, oh yeah, guys, yeah, I remember my senior year. They was like, okay, remember if we know. Wait, hold on. I'm thinking I'm talking too fast. Hold on. Okay. Teacher's like, okay, guys, you know that we know if y'all change tabs, but hey, man, I was on my phone. I didn't even change the tab.
Bothered to show up in the first place. You're telling me that I had to wake up at 8 a.m. after staying up nearly all night playing games and shooting blanks on TikTok to attend a 30-minute Zoom call that the teacher doesn't even want to be in? Yeah, I'm going back to sleep. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. I'm pretty sure that a good 50% of you watching this video right now did the exact same thing. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that I was failing school pretty bad. I've never been the best in school to begin with, but this was bad for my standards. Shortly after, though, our school board came out and said that anything done after the beginning of the lockdown would not count towards our final grade. Yeah, I suppose you could say that me not showing up to online class was truly an alpha power move, because at the end of the day, it wouldn't even matter in the first place. You gotta think smarter, my friends, not harder. Time is money, and I would spend that time sleeping.
This is Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises, built to meet any brief.
Also, wearing a mask was ass. I'm not here to argue whether you think masks worked or they didn't work. I'm here to argue that they made me tired of smelling my hot ass breath. Bro, there were times where I'd have to wake up super early to go out somewhere and I'd wear a mask and I had no time to brush my teeth. So for the next hour, I'd just be sitting there smelling my morning stank the entire time I was out of the house. You tried to put breath mint in your mouth to maybe neutralize the stink. It would just redirect your breath directly into your eyeballs. So if you weren't already in tears about how rancid your morning breath was, you would definitely be crying about the amount of menthol that your eyes are being exposed to. Now listen, at first, lockdown was amazing. School was no longer going, many people didn't have to go to work anymore, and because everybody was too scared to leave the house, food delivery services like DoorDash and Uber Eats became a super popular option. Legitimately, all I was doing was eating delivered McDonald's and playing video games all day long. And obviously, with very little physical activity, I started to get a wee bit, rotund. My circumference was getting larger by the week, and it's because of this that I started to feel the first few negatives of lockdown. Trust me, sitting around on my ass all day was fun for a few weeks, but after around the 2-month mark, you really start to realize what's going on. In my mind, I started to think that maybe this isn't all it.
Yeah, and that's how, like, that's how I lost my mind, partially. But yeah, I've been lost my mind since quarantine, and others have too. It's just, it's just like, why though? Oh, it's just like, why? Mm-hmm. Track. We had to run. I don't know if we had. Oh no, we didn't. We didn't have to run with the mask on. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't
All
even
it's
know.
cracked up to be, and you start to miss the simple things, like just going for a bike ride with your friends, or just going to the movies, simple things. I think once summer break of 2020 rolled around is when we started to notice the actual effects of lockdown. For example, the class of 2020 wasn't able to get an official graduation. Instead, most
Yep,
schools opted out for a Zoom call, and that's it. I was lucky enough to get an
yep.
actual graduation. You know how pissed I would be if I went through 12 years of bullshit just to be sitting there on a Zoom call?
I mean, it's not the end of the world. Y'all gotta realize there were three most important things for you as an adult. I wasn't gonna say as a man, but I'm speaking for everybody, right? Three most important things: graduation, wedding, and your child's birth. And your child's graduation. That's actually four. So those are four things. Prom, I don't know. I never really. You see, like the thing was, I'm just me. I just attract. I can be the shark if I wanted to. I have proof, or at least I had proof. Listen, everything I'm saying is true. True facts. Remember, me and the homies every day after no, not every day after school, like lunch period. Walk up to all the baddies saying who better. You know who they picked, me, because I didn't have to do nothing. So that's already nothing. And it's just every time. Now the thing was, you didn't have to. That's not as
I know
important.
that was awkward as hell too. They
It's
were
not.
just sitting at their screen like, Pokemon Stickman, congratulations on your graduation. Are you fucking kidding me? Tons of people were also getting laid off of their jobs due to not being able to keep up with the rapidly changing environment. Even my
But you can turn the negative into positive. Look at everybody now. Look at everybody now. Everybody who started TikTok 2020, they all got a million plus. Everybody who started that business or YouTube, they all successful.
dad had to work from home at one point, and our apartment was so
They
small that he
around
had
it.
absolutely nowhere to set up his workstation. So he had to put it in my room, and I would regularly wake up at like 6 a.m. to hear my dad on a work meeting or tip-tapping away at his keyboard. I was having so little real-life social interactions with people that I would dream that I was hanging out with my friend, only for it to be shattered by hearing. As summer break went on, I was really starting to feel bad. I missed being able to see my friends and even my family because of this entire
Man, you got
lockdown. It
away.
wasn't just as simple as hopping on Fortnite and playing games for hours a day. I was starting to really get bored of it. I got so bored of playing Fortnite that I camo grinded both different types of skins on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And also, you gotta keep in mind that I was starting to get fat as hell during this point. That DoorDash and sweet chili Doritos were really starting to take a toll on me.
That, you see, everybody gonna say the purple Doritos are the best. Now, that's what I thought, but it's not. It's the blue ones. The blue ones are number one. I would say the spicy nachos, the spicy red ones, but no, though. It's not. It's the blue ones. Purple is second.
Both physically and
Purple
mentally.
is
Sure,
second.
I could go online and make friends, play games, but I was missing that face-to-face with people. And to put it bluntly, this is where I started getting depressed. And I know
Yeah.
for a fact I wasn't the only one
Me
who
too.
felt this way, because I've talked
Oh, yeah.
Supercharge your business with the all-new Shopify point of sale, the all-in-one POS solution built on the world's
Oh, yeah. He's right.
to so many
He's
people
right.
my age, and they felt the same way. So what I used to do is I would go on walks late at night. The apartment that me and my family lived in at the time was on the basement floor, so my window would lead straight to the grass near the sidewalk. So on those nights when it was like 2 a.m. and I just couldn't sleep, I would get out of my bed, hop out the window, and just go for a walk around the neighborhood without a mask or nothing. I would just take in the night air and finally feel freedom for the first time in quite a while. What I liked to do is I would walk the mile to the skate park, and I would just sit there alone with my thoughts and take everything in. I didn't have to worry about no social distancing or having to use hand sanitizer every 45 seconds. At these times where I would just walk around the neighborhood, I would feel like it was just me being able to get a break from all the chaos that was going on within the world. It was such a good refresh for me mentally just to be able to walk around and just unwind, relax. And I know for a fact that me and so many other people who are in my generation didn't have a normal time to grow up and be teenagers, and it's just a fact that we did miss out on certain things, and that sucks, like really bad. But at the same time, I'm super happy that I got to have such a unique experience. Obviously, after about a year or so, things started to settle down, mandates were lifted, people were able to go back to school, go back to their jobs, and it was really awesome being able to go outside and interact and just live life again. It's crazy to think that this wasn't like 2 years ago, this was 5 years ago, this was half a decade. Bro, that is a long time. Before we know it, we're gonna wake up and be old as hell. If I learned anything from the entire lockdown, it's that I can't be locked in for too long. Having no responsibilities is fun up to a certain
Yeah. I don't even know. But that was crazy because, like, boom, right? Boom. I got the shot. Boom. And then, which is crazy because how? Because then when I got the shot, then I was like, okay, well, yeah, you have COVID. How if I had the shot? See? Yeah, those were the worst 2 days ever. Yeah, my whole family had it. Except for my dad. I don't know how he didn't have it. I don't even know. But those were the worst 2 days, 3 days ever. This is whatever. You can't talk. Your throat is sore. Doom. Nose running, and you can barely breathe, and you got the fever. You can't do nothing. But it cleared up 2 days.
certain extent. Being isolated is not fun.
3
I hope
days.
this was a fun little bit of nostalgia down memory lane for the better or
Yeah,
worse.
yeah.
If you guys want to watch more, check out this video. It's pretty cool, and that's pretty
That
much
was
all
a
I have to
long
say.
time
Thank you
ago.
guys so much for watching.
Very good video. See, it looked like his eyes are like the portal, right? It looked like nothing's here. I know I'm yapping though. Mm. All right.